Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be all about the living room update. We have decided to have a little shuffle around in here. One of the reasons is because we've got a really comfy love seat, which is a Maker and Son one, and we've had it a few years now. We did used to have it in the living room, but when we got the L-shaped sofa, it was a bit of a tight squeeze, so we moved it into the dining room. But actually it's not getting much use in there, and we wanted to bring it back into here because it's such a comfortable sofa. So we're going to move the sofa around to be able to accommodate that. And also I'm working with LG, and we've got a brand new TV, which is super exciting. It's one of those that sits flush to the wall. My husband's been desperate for a new TV for a while now. I think ours is about 10 years old. But I've not been in any rush to change it, to be honest, because I quite like it sitting in the corner. It's just tucked away, but he's such a gadget man. So when he showed me this one, I was like, right, okay, time to get a new TV. This one is just amazing. And I love the fact that it sits flush to the wall. So we've decided to mount it above the fireplace. So I've just taken the instructions out of the box. And it comes with this little QR code here, which you just scan, and it takes you straight to a video on your phone of how to install it. So it shouldn't be too difficult. I'm feeling quite confident, but I'm going to let my husband do the drilling, because although I'm quite handy with the drill, I think he's the best person for the job, and I would hate it to come crashing down in the night. So yeah, I'm going to be his glamorous assistant and just pass him the screws, and if he's really lucky, I might even make him a cup of tea. So let's get that up on the wall first, and then I'll talk you through the rest of the changes that I'm going to be doing in here, what I'm going to be replacing the corner unit for where this TV is at the moment, and also I'll talk you through the features of the TV. So it's up. So that went really smoothly. I've got these little cable tidies, which I picked up in B&Q. They come with like a little sticky plastic on the back, and you just open them up and put your cables inside. And then it also comes with these little kind of corner adapters. So as you can see, I've got that already there. I need to cut it down a little bit more, and then I can thread all the wires through there. So I still need to do that and get the TV set up. So my next job is to take out the TV and remove the TV unit, because we don't actually need that there anymore. So what I need to do is restyle this area completely, because it's freed up so much space in that corner now that we've put the TV above the chimney breast. So I'm actually going to put a little shelf up, quite a thick one, and I'm going to put some plants and things like that on there, and some magazines, and then I'm just going to have some art above it. And then on here, on the fireplace, I'm going to paint the tiles. So I'm going to get rid of the gold, I'm going to paint over those black. So having the TV on the wall has freed up so much space in this area, and I absolutely love it. It just feels so much brighter. So I've been having a think about what to do in this little alcove, because I've got some shelving up at the other end, which has got books and things on. So I didn't want to have loads of shelving here. And I also love having art on the walls around here. So what I've decided to do is put a low shelf along here. Quite a thick one, a deep one. I've been and got some MDF cut to size from B&Q. And I've got this old apple crate, which I've had in the garage for a while. I tend to save these because they're brilliant for storage. And I've got some casters. So what I'm going to do is screw these casters on to here, and that'll sit underneath the shelf, and then I can use that as storage, and I can pull it in and out. And I love how the wood just adds a bit of warmth to this corner as well. So that's the plan for that. And I'm going to use, I've got some wood here, these pieces of wood, which I'm going to use as a frame. So I'm going to drill that to the wall, and I'm going to use that as a frame for this shelf to sit on. And here's the MDF that I've picked up for the shelf. So I've got this cut to size in B&Q. They do a great cutting service. I think you get 4 cuts for free, and I think you pay something like 50p per cut after that. So the shelves are already cut to size and they're just going to sit along there, and I'm going to paint them the same colour as the wall. I've made a start on painting the tiles black. I wanted to get rid of the gold because I just wanted to keep it black so it was all the same colour and it all kind of blended in and nothing stood out too much. So when I painted these gold, I used the Hammerite metal paint and I used the gold one. And I thought that that would work well because it can withstand the heat from the fire. So I'm using the exact same paint, but I've just gone for the smooth black this time. And so far it's going on really well. So I'm just giving it the first coat. It's probably going to need 2 coats. Well, it will need 2 coats, maybe 3, but I think 2 should do it because it is covering quite well. I actually really enjoy painting. A lot of people don't, but I find it really therapeutic. I also find that putting an audio book on or putting a podcast on is a great way to use up that kind of time that you've not got, you know, when you're doing something like driving or putting makeup on or painting. I think that you can still be learning so much by listening to like an audiobook or a podcast and taking so much in. So that's, for me, that's what I prefer to do. I think they call it net time, no extra time. I'm sure that's what Tony Robbins calls it. It's basically anything that you can squeeze in when you've not got time. So you wouldn't be able to read a book when you were doing something like this, but you could listen to an audiobook because you're taking it in at the same time. So that is the first coat of paint on. I've got to wait 4 hours before I can put another coat on, but I'm really pleased with how it's looking so far. Love the black against the little brass frame of the fireplace. So while that's waiting to dry, I've been putting the frame up here for the shelf. So as you can see, it's just a low shelf, and I've attached some wood to the walls at each side. I've just drilled through there. I've put some wall plugs in at each side, and I've just attached a piece of wood at that side, a long one there, and then another piece there, and that's just for the frame for the shelf to sit on top of. So I'll show you the shelf now. So it was just the MDF which I showed you earlier, and it sits on the frame that I made, and then on the front, why is it not focusing? On the front there I've just attached the other piece of wood to make it look like a deep shelf. It gives you the illusion that it's quite a chunky shelf, but it's not, it's just kind of a frame really. And as you can see, I've just put nails into there to hold it into place, and then on the top here I've just cut a little bit out so that the cables from the TV can go down there and they'll sit inside the box. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'm going to put a primer on there, and then I'm going to paint it the same colour as the walls so it kind of all blends in. And I've also put the casters on the bottom of the apple crate. So the apple crate is going to sit under there, and the apple crate will store the skybox, so the wires will come from the TV down the side of the fire, and then they'll go into here, and this apple crate will store the skybox. So I'm really pleased with that. So now I'm just going to put the undercoat on the shelf. Good morning. So yesterday I finished off the day by painting a primer on the shelf, and then that's dry now. So I'm doing a second coat on the tiles, and then I'm going to do a second coat on the shelf, which will be the eggshell in the same colour as what I used on the walls, which is little green slate lime. I love that colour, it's such a nice colour. But last night we got the TV fired up, so we plugged everything in. We need a longer HDMI cable, which my husband's gone for this morning, and then we can get all the wires hidden away, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So we had a really good play around with it, checking out all the different features and things like that, and it's just amazing. We were so happy with it. The sound, for one thing, just absolutely blew us away. For the depth of the TV, with it being so slim, you just wouldn't expect the sound to be as amazing, but it is fabulous. My husband was just like, wow. And then the picture is just brilliant. So I'll run you through some of the main features and see if you can guess the one that actually sold the TV to me. So this is the LG G10 Gallery TV, and we went for the 55-inch. They also do it in a 65-inch and a 77-inch. I think the 65-inch is the most popular, but because we wanted to put it on our chimney breast, the 55-inch just fitted perfect. So that's the one that we went for. And when we turned it on last night, one of the things that we noticed straight away was how vibrant the colours were, especially in the darker scenes. And that's because of the OLED self-lit pixels. So unlike LED TV technology, the LG OLED screens pack self-lit pixels, meaning they work independently to emit their own light. So you actually get the perfect black levels because the pixels turn themselves off during the darker scenes. So I couldn't believe how outstanding the colours and the contrasts were with the sharpest details. I mean, it's just, even in the really dark scenes, it was just amazing. Really blew both of us away. So another one of the key features is the Alpha 9 Gen 3 AI processor 4K with AI Picture Pro and AI Sound Pro. Now, if you're like me, you're probably wondering what that means. So I did a little bit of research, and it basically means that whatever you're watching, the Alpha 9 recognises it and it optimises the picture and sound for that specific content type. So basically, if you're watching something in HD, it will then optimise it to 4K, which is the better picture. And yeah, my husband was very impressed with that when he was flicking through the TV last night. But for me, one of the key selling points has to be the gallery mode. I've never been a fan of having a TV as a feature in a room until I saw this TV. So the G10 perfectly blends into any space due to its gallery design. It's super slim and it fits flush to the wall. There's no gap whatsoever on the wall, so it's just like a picture frame. And when you're not watching the TV, you can turn it into a piece of art. Just look at some of these. I was totally blown away when I first saw these. They just look amazing. It really is an interior lover's dream TV. I mean, I never thought that I would find a TV that I love so much. And when it's on the wall, it fits so flush. It just looks like a picture frame. So it's not something that you walk in and it's totally in your face. It really blends in with my aesthetic, and I really love it. Yeah, I would never dream of having above a fireplace until I found this one. And the fact that you can turn it into a beautiful piece of artwork is just such a genius idea. So during the day, when we don't actually want to sit down and watch TV, we can put the TV into gallery mode and display beautiful pieces of artwork. And then at night time, when we want to settle down as a family to watch a film, or my husband wants to watch football, and we just want to snuggle up, you know, and watch a box set, it then turns into an amazing television. So it's perfect. I also love how it's freed up so much space in this corner over here where I've put the shelf, and I'm really looking forward to getting that area styled up as well. So I want to try the furniture in a different position, and I want to see whether it's possible to move the love seat back into the room, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And I also think it might work well to have the L-shaped sofa in a different position. So we're going to have a little move around now and see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll just move it back. I'll show you how it's looking now and see what you think when we've moved it. So as you walk into the living room, here's how it's looking at the moment. So I've got the rocking chair and a little table in the window, and then I've got the sofa in this corner. But what I'm thinking about doing is having the sofa so it goes along here and then back along the radiator, and then in this space here that will be empty, I'm thinking about putting the love seat. So yeah, fingers crossed that works. I think the table will still stay in the middle, and I might move the plant from over there into this spot here. As you can see, the little corner over there is coming together nicely. I've put a coat of eggshell on the shelf and I've styled underneath a little bit. And I've also hidden the skybox in here. So the wires, as you can see, the wires are all in place and they come down the side there and they go behind the logs, behind the magazines, and then the skybox is in this little basket here, which I think looks really cool. I'm really pleased with this little space now. So I'm going to put a few little plants and things on there as well once that's dried. Well, actually I probably need to put a second coat on there as well. And we are finished. We've changed everything around and we really love the new layout. You can see the TV better from all angles, so it works perfectly, and I'm really happy with how it's turned out. It just feels like a brand new room. Sometimes it's just nice to have a change around, give an existing room a new lease of life. So yeah, it just feels really cozy. I think it's going to be perfect for winter. So let me show you around. So we've got the TV on the wall. It's in gallery mode at the moment. Look at that, it's just beautiful, isn't it? Just looks like a piece of art. I love it. The tiles have been painted and I really like those. I mean, obviously with us renting, this is not a fireplace that I would personally choose. I would definitely rip this step out here because that is not something that I would choose. But we're renting and we have to make the most of what we've got. So I've painted the tiles black and I really like those. I've swapped the artwork around just to go for a bit more of a monochrome theme at each side. I've moved that print from over there. It was just behind where the fiddle leaf fig is. I've hung these lights here. These are festoon lights that I've had for a while. They were just a spare set. So I've hung those there, which I love. And the shelf is finished. I really like that. I think it hides all the wires perfectly. I've put a few logs there, pile of magazines with a plant, and then, as I said earlier, the skybox and all the cables and everything are hidden inside the apple crate there. So I've moved the fiddle leaf to this side, which is fine. It won't get too much direct sunlight there. If it does, I can always move it away a little bit. I've put my giant angle poise just behind the sofa there so that that could be a nice little reading spot when my husband's watching football. I can just take up this little spot here and read. I'm loving the sofa in this position. I think it works really well. I was a bit worried at first about cutting the bay window off, but actually it's kind of a dead space anyway. It's not, you know, somewhere that we would sit and look out. We've just got our garden. You can't really see much from there anyway. So yeah, I really like the sofa this way around. And actually you'll be able to see the TV better when you sat here and here, whereas before, if you sat here, you would have your back to the TV. So that's a much better viewing position. And then I've put the little table there. The mirror I've put there. I don't know if I'm keeping that there yet or not. And then, just excuse the mess in the background. I've still got all that to sort out. But I've moved the love seat here, which I really like. As you can see, it just gives a really nice little cozy seating area. I really hope you've enjoyed following along with my living room update. I'm absolutely worn out after moving the sofas and everything around. So I am going to sign this video off here. I've got a cup of tea. I'm going to sit here and find a new series to watch. So if you've got any recommendations, then please leave them down below and I will see you next time. Bye.